live.
4 minutes after 8 o'clock. A reminder this Sunday at the Solon American Legion is the 2024 Veterans Day Breakfast Buffet. Everyone is welcome. Now, veterans and their spouses get in free, but everyone else, adults, $12, 12 and under for $6, and 5 and under are free. It's a great breakfast. It's a great way to get together with the veterans and your neighbors and say hi. It's the 2024 Veterans Day Breakfast Buffet, and it's this Sunday from 8 till noon at the Solon American Legion. Jimmy's got guests. We're talking.
Eventually, there we go.
There you go.
We have Matt Getz.
Heartlanders.
Yes, David Getz is with us, or Matt Getz. I'm sorry, the president of the Heartlanders. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, and being confused with David Fine is a wonderful thing. So I appreciate the name mix-up there.
Well, I was trying to pull up
Mike right on.
I was trying to pull up his email to.
Now you broke it. You broke it. You bought it.
Oh, I don't have this kind of money, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, we'll just hold it. The world will be fine.
Okay. All right. Well, we just talked about the Veterans Breakfast. You guys have a Salute to Veterans coming up this weekend.
We do. On Saturday, we've got our Salute to Service game, and we're very excited about it. I think most of America really appreciates the work that's done by the men and women in the armed services, and so it's really great to be able to recognize them with. We've got some military vehicles. We've got a swearing-in ceremony happening at one of our intermissions.
Oh, cool.
We're wearing specialty jerseys. We've got special military-themed apparel that people can buy to celebrate that. And something that we're really proud of is that we've, as an organization, we've donated 200 tickets for veterans to claim through a program called VetTix. And those have all been taken right now, but just over the past week, we've had a couple businesses come in and donate some more. So there's currently 260 free tickets available for veterans for our game on Saturday at 6 p.m.
That's awesome. Now, you guys are kind of on a roll. You've won 3 in a row.
We're doing well. The success is still early in the season.
Sure. Well, yeah. What have you played, like 8 games or something like that?
I don't know if we've even got to 8, but it's very new in the season. But one of the things that's really important to me and that we've worked on in the off season is that we've got a group of guys that really want to play together, and they want to play hard and they want to work as a team. And that's anybody who's been on a team knows that that's not always the dynamic. And
right.
And right now they're getting along so well. They're playing together really well, and that's a sign of good things to come.
Well, you're, especially on the road, you guys are in close quarters, for long stretches of time.
Yeah.
On the bus and then in the locker room, and of course.
Help him fix that microphone.
How many technical difficulties have you had? Am I just the dumbest person?
No, it does this. I don't know why they made a stand like that, but can you do it, Jim? Yeah, Jim did it.
Just take somebody smarter than me, that's all.
I thought your arm was going to go to sleep.
I've just done it more times than you, Matt, that's all. Because I've done it myself. But back to what we were talking about. The players obviously are the heart of the organization, but you're right. You have to get a good mix of players that have a desire and, can get along and complement each other.
Absolutely, and with the way that our league works, we've got players coming and going, being called up to the Iowa Wild, and then being sent down from the Iowa Wild. So, having a core group of people that really establish a culture of welcoming people when they come in, and being able to pick up when somebody leaves and gets called up it's a really delicate balancing act, and we've got some really great people that are currently thriving in that situation.
Yeah, and one of the big things about having a franchise like the Heartlanders in the area is reaching out to the community, and your marketing has been phenomenal, really. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, when you talk about the specialty jerseys and the neat merch that you guys put out every year, and the tailgate parties and stuff. I mean, you're doing all the right things to attract people to the games.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. I would love to take some credit for that, but the only thing I did was I hired a couple of really talented, inventive young women that we've basically turned this over to, and they're aware of trends and things that I have no idea what they are. They walk into my office sometimes with a camera, and I'm just like, "What do you want me to do? I just need you to get out of here as soon as possible so I can go back to my stuff."
And what is your stuff as president? What are some of the day-to-day operation things that you do?
Yeah. So for me right now, a lot of it is still structure building, process building. Are we building a culture? So we had a pretty large turnover of staff at the end of the year last year. Some of it by choice, some of it by design. And so getting the right people that you can love hockey, but I think it's important for us to know that right now hockey is not important to the community at large. We can't just say, "Hey, we've got a hockey team. You should show up."
Yeah, why aren't you here?
Yeah, and that's I think that's a problem that we didn't really understand the first couple years. And so an analogy that I've been using over the past couple months is right now hockey is like broccoli. In this community, like there's some people that love it,
yes,
and they're wonderful people who know what's going on.
Sure,
but there's a lot of people that it's just not what they want to give their time and attention to, and so we've got to find ways to cover this with cheese to make people to want to be able to try it.
You know, the problem I think that hockey has, especially when you're beginning a team, is television. You don't get when you watch television. It's like, okay, where's the puck? Even when they highlight it now, you know, it's not the same as when you go to a game. It's not like other sports on TV. You don't feel the excitement. I mean, it really is exciting in person, but on TV it kind of loses that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like, you know, your teams are like troops, and you're going up and down the field of battle, you know, and you know, replacing personnel on the go, and you know, it's constantly moving, and it's just, and as a soccer dad, you can pretty much pick up on like the offsides and things like that pretty quickly. So, and some of the other idiosyncrasies of the game, you know, it's. You bring the kids, they just have a hell of a great time because there's always something happening, and you know, of course, there's the random fights that, you know, people really like, but that's not why people go to games, to see people beat up on each other.
If I could promote that, I would.
That old Stephen Wright joke. I went to a fight in a hockey game and broke out. But but the athleticism of these guys, you know, we were talking to the coach the other day when he was here, and he was giving us, well, how long do you think those guys are on the ice? And you're thinking, well, they're probably on for like 5-10 minutes at a stretch, and that would kill them.
Yeah, like 45 seconds is what we need.
I mean, and they're just, like I said, it's just really neat to watch unfold in person. And you guys, again, you talked about, you know, what do we do to get more people here? You've done good work with family plans and things like that. To, you know, so it's not a huge expense to bring your family to a game.
Yeah, we're certainly trying to make it affordable for people, because it's, as I mentioned, that if it's something that people aren't naturally going to say, hey, I want to give this a shot, like we've got to find ways to entice them to take that first chance and give us that. And something that we talk about all the time is what is that pricing for families? We hear, you know, do you have a youth price? Which no team in the ECHL has a youth ticket right now. So that doesn't mean that we won't ever have one. But the conversation around how do we get people exposed to it? Because when they come, they do love it. Last week, I guess, for our Halloween game on the 30th. Because the Iowa City Community School District didn't have school on Thursday, we decided we were going to offer free tickets for any kids with an accompanying paid adult ticket, and we saw close to 300 kids.
That's
show
awesome.
up. There's definitely I think what that tells me is there's an interest, but there's some sort of barrier that exists that we've just got to find what that is and keep finding ways to help people get around it or through that.
Well, you got like the perfect venue. I mean, the arena is great, and
there's no bad seat for sure.
No bad seat, and
sound is awesome.
And you're like 4 steps away from food in any one direction.
Or drink. Don't forget the drink part.
And we've done a lot of work in the off season to be able to create an even more fun environment for people. So because of the way the arena was built, there was limited hardwired camera positions, and so we went out and we've got a wireless camera now, so that we can be literally anywhere we want to be. We can be in the stands, we can be at the concession stand, we can be in the team store.
Oh, cool!
And so we've got an incredible amount. I couldn't give you an exact number, but I'm going to say somewhere around 3 or 4 times as many opportunities for people to be on the video board as we used to have, and that's something that particularly kids love. And I mean, we're Americans, and I'll tell you, if I get to see myself on TV, that makes me feel great.
Sure.
So the more opportunities that we can have to give people things like that makes them connected. And shameless plug for you guys. You guys have been a great partner for us probably since before I got here last year. But not only do you guys give us this time on the radio, but you guys are the presenting partner of the KCJJ Karaoke Cam. So every game we've got the opportunity for fans to see themselves attempting to sing along to the songs that are out there. Some of them do it better than others, and I always avoid the camera at that point in time.
It's the same thing here.
Yeah, really. Hockey is, once you see it in person. I mean, when my son, way long ago, was living in Council Bluffs, we went to their hockey game, and I was used to going through the channels and looking at hockey and going, okay, and watching a little bit of it. But in person, it just was completely different. I got hooked on it. And in the Quad Cities, we had hockey teams, and Tommy Lang, who does middays here most of the time, he was the voice of the Rough Riders, in the in Cedar Rapids. So we're big in the hockey. It's a great sport.
Well, we certainly appreciate the support that you give us.
Well, and this week you're not going against any games.
Yeah, how about that? It's Saturday night and nothing else to do.
It does feel good that our Iowa football team is not playing at the same time as we are.
Yeah, you've had a couple of those, and of course you have to deal with the other sports as well. But it's nice to have an exclusive on Saturday night.
It really does feel nice to have that, and that's something that we're always going to have to contend with. I see that the Iowa women's basketball team has sold out their season tickets this year. The men's wrestling team has sold out all their season tickets. So it's a town where there's a lot of great opportunities to see sports, and we've got to keep finding ways to carve out our own niche. And I think to your point, it is a unique thing to see live. That it's the experience you can get in venue is so much better than what you can get on TV, and that's not necessarily true for all other sports.
So Saturday's game, when's the puck drop on Saturday?
We'll drop at 6:07.
Okay,
don't be tardy. We've got fun stuff happening before then.
Well, that's good, because the game Friday night, people will be watching, won't get over till like 11:30. So,
and even if you want to go to the wrestling, the wrestling's at 1,
Yeah.
So it'll be done by 3, so you can make a whole sports day out of it.
Yeah, and you could still get to sleep after the hockey game, and get your Sunday off right, instead of just dragging.
We've the first couple weeks we've had some maybe not ideal scheduling times, but we're coming into a really great period that we've got, obviously, this Saturday, and then next Friday and next Saturday we have games, and that's a bye week for Iowa football. And on next Friday night, the 15th, we're hosting what we're calling our Hawk E game,
right.
HAWKEY.
Yeah, we had folks from the United Way here yesterday to talk about that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
they've been a great partner with us on that, and we're really excited to be able to create an opportunity to give back to the United Way and help President Wilson and the University of Iowa achieve their goal of being more participatory in giving to the United Way and supporting the charities and the causes that they help with.
Yeah, so if you go to the United Way website and buy tickets through their site, they get a portion of the ticket sales.
Yep, $5 from every ticket will go back to the United Way at next Friday's game, and And in addition to the United Way, we're also celebrating the great things that happen at the University of Iowa that are what I've been saying is that are not Iowa football or Caitlin Clark related. I think everybody knows the things that are going on or have gone on in those areas, but there's some just incredible things that as we've been working with the University of Iowa Communications Department, the stuff that's going on campus here that is just absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh, I know. The research and development and, the way the kids are getting educated is just amazing.
Yeah, it's some of the things that they're doing. So the Tippie College of Business has a augmented reality and virtual reality program, which seems really interesting to me. That like how does that fit into a business curriculum? But we've been working with them, and they've actually developed a VR hockey experience for us. That at our pregame party at the Hyatt Regency before our game on November 30th, we'll have about 10 of these VR sets so that fans can go in and actually experience playing hockey without having to be on the ice. You just put on the goggles and go, and they make it sound like it's just child's play for them to get this done. And so the thing that really sticks out to me is there's lots of conversation over the past couple of years about autonomous driving vehicles and how do you get that done. And most of that technology that makes those things work is based off of visual perception of lane lines. Mm-hmm. And so the University of Iowa is the only place in the world that is doing autonomous driving vehicles on gravel roads, which anybody who's been on a gravel road knows there are no lane lines. So like that technology at current state is no good as soon as you go off a traditionally painted road. And it's even more dangerous when you're on a gravel road because there's farm equipment that just kind of comes up and across sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, would you really trust one of those? They're like running over people and stuff.
This is a 75-year-old man who's set in his ways. There's no way he's going to get
in a car that I am not driving.
That's it.
And I'm not that great of a driver.
But at least you want to be responsible for your own death.
I would love to argue with you, but I told you when I came in here this morning, there's heavy fog out there, and I rely on line of sight. I don't know what the streets are. I just know this is this landmark, and I turn left here.
Right.
And I missed 3 turns getting here. So maybe an autonomous vehicle might actually be good for me.
There you go.
Listen, I got the first car I got that had navigation. I was going to my son was living at the time in Davenport, and I put in his address, and I'm driving, and it says, turn here, and the voice comes out, turn here, and it's a culvert. So
I think we've all got some beautiful stories. I like telling, this was, I think, 2008, before GPS was like in vehicles or on cell phones, that you bought a Garmin or a TomTom.
Yeah, boy, that goes back, doesn't it?
So it was, it was like $200. So for Mother's Day, my brother and I and my dad, we all chipped in and we got one for my mom. And one of the first trips that we took, we were going to the far western end of South Dakota. And my mom's like, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to use this TomTom. So we know how to go to get up into Minnesota. And then the TomTom says, take a right on this road, turn left onto Interstate 90, continue straight 600 and something miles.
Right.
And my dad looked over and was like, that was a really great investment, boys. Could not have figured this out ourselves.
Well, I've got the Toyota I've got now. If you get the Toyota app, it's like $135 a year. Or else you can just plug your phone in and it pops up on the screen, So
it's amazing what that stuff will do.
Yeah.
But circling back, great things happen at the University of Iowa. So it's important for us, and I think I've said this when I've been on here before, that we've got to make sure that the community knows that we care about the things that are important in our community. There's, that old phrase, like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Well, somebody has to scratch first, and we've been waiting for people to scratch our back for 3 years, and it turns out we've gone unmassaged for quite some time.
Sure.
So we've got to make sure that we're reaching out and supporting those partners that down the line will be able to support us in the ways that we need. And so places like the United Way, the University of Iowa, next Saturday, the 16th, we're having our the marketing girls got a hold of it, and it's Hard Hats on Ice, but it's an appreciation for the construction and trades.
Boy, there's plenty of those around here too.
And I mean,
There's always construction here.
As I've been talking to some of the companies that are in that industry, one of the things that they talk about is it's just really hard to find people to do the work. That people are turning down 20 and 30% of the business they could bid on because there's just not enough people that want to do that work. So how do we help celebrate? Like I love roads, I love indoor plumbing, I love heating and cooling, I love electricity.
Sure.
I love everything that ironworkers unions do. That like we need to be shining a light on some of those so that people who are coming to our games are saying, you know what, maybe I'm not happy in the job that I'm in, or maybe I'm a young kid trying to figure out what my career is, and it's not standing on the side of the road all day long, sweating in the heat, drinking a Gatorade. Like there's a lot more things. They're very talented, smart people that make our lives as easy as we have it. And as much as we complain about having to wait for road work to be done, like how terrible is it if they didn't fix the road?
Exactly.
And we want to help shine a light on some of those things that make our community great. And in return, we hope those people will appreciate the work we're doing to help make our community better.
Well, the Salute to Veterans Night is Saturday, 6 o'clock puck drop. So gates open at what, 5?
5 o'clock.
Yep. So get out and enjoy that. And I guess David's going to be here on Monday with a player. Yep. So we'll talk about
David himself is a player.
When he's here, I want you to ask him after he got awarded ECHL Broadcaster of the Year. He lives on the east side of Iowa City.
Yeah.
And he and his girlfriend went to Heinz Ice Cream over there, and one of the people behind the counter recognized him as the ECHL Broadcaster of the Year. And
wow.
Ask him about that story.
I will.
To see him light up with, like, I've been waiting my whole life for somebody to recognize me, and it happened twice in 3 days.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we'll definitely have to ask about that. And we'll hope to see a bunch of people out there Saturday night. Thanks for coming out. This is Matt Getz, who's the president of the Iowa Heartlanders. Hope to see you again soon.
I love being back here, and again, thank you so much for what you do to help support what we're trying to do, and everything that you do to help us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
The mighty 1630 KCJJ.